The quiet murmur of an ordinary afternoon inside one of Shanghai's most exclusive luxury shopping centers was suddenly shattered by a whisper that spread through the marble corridors like wildfire. For years, the entertainment world has lived under the assumption that two of China's biggest superstars had drawn an impenetrable line between the public lives, choosing absolute silence over the relentless speculation of millions. Ever since they shared the screen in a cultural phenomenon that redefined international drama, their paths seemed to diverge into completely separate universes, each navigating immense fame, intense scrutiny, and the crushing weight of public expectation. Yet, on a seemingly unremarkable weekday evening, a single grainy photograph posted on a local social media forum caused servers to crash and sent shockwaves across global fandoms. The image captured two tall, slender figures walking side by side through a dimly lit private corridor near a high-end designer boutique, both wearing low-profile black caps, dark oversized jackets, and face masks that covered almost every identifying feature. Despite the heavy disguises, sharp-eyed observers immediately noticed details that were impossible to ignore, from the distinctive posture and effortless stride to a familiar vintage watch glinting under the soft overhead lights. As the picture circulated from private chat groups to mainstream trending lists within minutes, the initial skepticism gave way to a wave of overwhelming emotion and disbelief. For years, industry insiders had insisted that any personal connection between them had been completely severed by the sheer pressure of media spotlight, corporate interests, and the volatile nature of celebrity culture. The unspoken rule in the entertainment industry was simple: keep your distance, avoid overlapping schedules, and never give the public a reason to reignite the fires of rumor. Every public appearance, every red carpet, and every endorsement had been meticulously engineered to ensure the names were never spoken in the same breath. Yet here, in the unscripted reality of a quiet shopping mall after business hours, two people who defined an entire era of entertainment were seen sharing a calm, unfiltered moment away from the blinding cameras and screaming crowds. Witnesses who happened to be present in the mall described the atmosphere as almost surreal, noting how the two individuals spoke in soft, hushed tones, their body language relaxed in a way that revealed a profound, effortless comfort with one another that years of public separation could never erase. The details surrounding the sighting began to piece together a narrative that felt less like an orchestrated publicity stunt and more like a rare, stolen moment of genuine humanity. According to eyewitness accounts from boutique staff, the pair had entered the private VIP suite of an elite leather goods store just as the main doors were preparing to close for the night. They weren't accompanied by the usual army of security guards, managers, or publicists that normally surround stars of their magnitude. Instead, there was only a single trusted assistant who kept a respectful distance near the entrance. Those few moments spent inside the quiet room, away from the prying eyes of the world, carried a weight that resonated deeply with anyone who had followed the journey over the past half-decade. People who observed them from afar mentioned how one of them leaned against the counter with a quiet, observant smile while the other pointed out various items, sharing an internal joke that brought out a soft, low laugh, a sound so familiar to millions of fans, yet unheard in a shared setting for what felt like an eternity. The emotional impact of this unexpected encounter stems from the complex, beautiful, and often painful history these two iconic figures share in the public eye. When they first stepped onto a set together years ago, nobody could have predicted the unprecedented global storm the combined energy would unleash. They built a bond on camera and off that resonated with millions across the globe, creating a legacy that defied language barriers and cultural boundaries. But with unprecedented fame came an overwhelming level of pressure, forcing both men into a life of hyper-vigilance where every glance, every gesture, and every word was analyzed, debated, and often weaponized by the media machine. To protect their careers, their personal lives, and each other, they chose the path of total public discretion, building thick walls around the private lives and stepping into roles that kept them on separate tracks for years. The public grew accustomed to seeing them only as isolated titans of the industry, reigning over charts, box offices, and fashion runways completely independent of one another. This sudden, unscripted glimpse into their reality broke through years of built-up distance and reignited an emotional spark that many thought had been lost to time. As fans around the world analyzed the timestamp of the photographs and matched the surrounding architecture to the newly renovated luxury wing of the shopping center, the reality of the situation began to settle in. It wasn't a promotional event, a movie set, or a staged appearance meant to drive engagement. It was simply two longtime friends, bound by an extraordinary shared history that no one else could ever truly understand, taking a moment to catch up like ordinary human beings. The contrast between their ultra-famous public personas and this quiet, grounded interaction created a breathtaking sense of intimacy that touched the hearts of millions. It served as a poignant reminder that despite the massive empire of fame, fortune, and relentless public judgment that surrounds them, the core of who they are and the unspoken understanding they share remains completely untouched by the noise of the outside world. As the night wore on and the rumors continued to dominate discussions across continents, the silence from their respective management teams spoke louder than any official statement ever could. In an industry where public relations departments are quick to issue sharp denials or calculated clarifications within hours of a major story breaking, the lingering, peaceful silence surrounding this particular event felt like an implicit acknowledgement of something genuine. Whether this brief, chance sighting in a quiet shopping mall marks the beginning of a new chapter where they no longer feel the need to hide their bond, or simply remains a beautiful, fleeting memory captured in the dark, it has already left an indelible mark on everyone who witnessed it. It proved that true connections, forged in the heat of extraordinary circumstances and nurtured through years of silent respect, can never be broken by time, distance, or the heavy burden of worldwide fame.